not your fault, but it is up to you to fix it. And we're going to help you fix that. So, yesterday we tackled confused buyers. Today we're going to tackle a very big one. All right. And it is invisible killer of sales in 2025 all the time. It's a big problem right now. Trust is at an all-time low. And people don't know who to believe. There is so much going on in that marketplace. Remember, we started out talking about a crowded market, right? A crowded market, educated guessing leads to educated guessing because you have to do the best you can to get the right messages in front of the right places. And even the best marketers are guessing most of the time. They're just doing a better job of guessing with better data, better information, and trusting some skill sets, but they're guessing. Okay. Which then all of this leads to confused buyers. Confused buyers show up without trust, right? They have a lack of trust, and we got to solve that. Okay. Your buyer's more skeptical than ever. Everybody's promising everything, and there's a way through it. There's a better way, a more powerful way. And today we're going to break that open. Okay. This one's personal for me. Years ago, before Gain the Edge had its reputation, before the $500 million worth of sales results that we've generated, before the big name partnerships and the world class clients that we have worked with, uh, we weren't well known. We weren't showing up in people's feeds. We weren't posting content. We weren't doing ads. And guess what? It didn't matter. It wasn't necessary because we had something more powerful than visibility. We had people who trusted us, and told their people to trust us too, and transferred that trust. Right? Trust is the new currency. And quite honestly, most people are broke. We had mentors, partners, clients, collaborators who would look someone in the eye and say, if you need sales help, you need Jim and Cindy. Jim and Cindy are the only people to call. If you want somebody who will care as much about your business as you do, the only people you should be working with is Jim and Cindy. They will care about every head, every hair on every head of every lead. They will make sure that sales occur, but that your clients never, ever suffer and your brand never is compromised. Who needs who needs marketing when you have that? Okay. So that's what we want for you. Hey, I don't want, hey, you should check out Jim, or hey, here's my friend Jim, right? Or Jim might be helpful, or I'm going to send you this guy. Although there was a powerful statement about I know a guy, but that came with the same context of the only guy you should trust. So you don't want to be that. It was call Jim, buy his thing, and do it now. I'll make you a personal introduction. Right. When I was back in my mortgage days, in the early 2000s, I had a concept that I called becoming barbecue proof. I wanted to be barbecue proof because you know what happens at a barbecue, and you're like, hey, yeah, I was gonna looking for a loan, and I'm gonna buy a house, and they're like, oh, hey, my cousin is a real estate agent. My cousin's a mortgage broker. You should call my cousin. Right? I wanted to be so good at what I did and have such relationships, such trust built in that could never happen to my people because they would say, no, no, no. You need to talk to Jim. Don't worry about your cousin. Here's Jim. Matter of fact, I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to call Jim right now so you can talk to him, right? That's the kind of trust you want built. That level of endorsement is rare, but it is powerful. And once you experience it, you never want to go back to the old way again. Okay. Referrals are nice. Introductions are helpful, but full endorsement changes everything. And it's time for you to be able to experience that. That's what I want for you. Don't you want that full endorsement so that people can say, hey, yes, here it is. We got you, right? We had people who trusted us and they told other people to trust them too. They transfer that trust. How many people are you trusting like that? How many people are trusting you in that vein? Right? It's imperative. And today, it used to be a nice advantage to have. Today, I don't know that you have any other choice. I think that's how you win in business. I don't see anything else that's more dependable. Okay. Right now, most entrepreneurs are trying to build trust the slow way. Content, post a billion times, consistency, value posts, social proof, case studies, testimonials, all of that stuff. All good. Nothing wrong with any of it. Okay. All good, but too slow. The speed of trust is a real thing because you're trying to build trust one person at a time with people whom you don't know, who have no reason to believe you. right? But when somebody your buyer already trusts, says they're the real deal, trust transfers instantly. Your credibility becomes borrowed, authority becomes inherited, and your sales cycle collapses. Now, before you go rush off saying, I do this already. I get referrals. I get most of my business from referrals. Be careful. I see this all the time. People say, "Oh, I say, what percentage of your business comes from referrals?" People will say, "Oh, most of it." But yeah, but you're getting one deal a month or eight deals a year, or you're getting them at certain times. I'm talking, do you get them predictably? Do you get them by design because you plan for it, because you showing up that way and you're living into a strategy that endorses it and supports it for the people who follow you, believe in you, and want to be able to do business with you, right? It's about having this done predictably, consistently, and by design. That's different. Not just did it happen to you, does it happen because you planned for it. Okay. You don't want to be starting at zero, right? You want to be starting at done. You want to be starting at things that make your ideal buyer say, yes, this is the person that I need. And that is about you speeding up the trust cycle. Excuse me. Oops. There we go. All right. So low trust is where we start. You want to be fully endorsed and then hand walked. How different would it be? You want Walmart or Whole Foods version? Do you want to have, I went to the store and I was like, hey, where's your charcoal briquettes? I needed some wood charcoal for our barbecue. And there's a difference between somebody saying, oh, yeah, it's back in the last row, it's back on aisle 13, or somebody saying, hey, yeah, let me show you and walk you there while they're asking you what else, what are you barbecuing and what are you doing and what kind of gas grill do you have and what's going on, and you're having this conversation, and then they get there and they show you the options of the grills of the charcoal, right? Because they hand walk you to the solution. They make sure it occurs. Right. I'll never forget Bernie Dorman when I was in the CEO space, God rest his soul, legend. And no matter how much money he made, how successful he was, how big he got in business, how many people knew him, how many world-class entrepreneurs and businesses he was a part of, never did I see him hand people off. He always walked, hand delivered, hand walked people into introductions. He would never say, oh, yeah, hey, you need to meet Jim. He's over there at table 10. He would walk people up to the point of annoyance. There were times you'd be in the middle of a conversation and he would walk up, interrupt you very politely and be like, hey, Jim, super important. I wanted this, make sure that this introduction got made. You need to know who she is. She need to know you. I told her everything about you. You guys need to make conversation happen now. I can't wait to see what happens, right? Hand walked, hand walked. People go out of their way to make sure that people are served by you. Isn't that the kind of dream business that you want? You go from low trust to hand walked. That is my desire for you. And that's what we are trying to help you see. So hopefully just by being aware of this makes it a big difference, right? You don't want to be in the referrals department. You want to be in the endorsement department. I want people showing up, say, yes, I got it, right? Low trust, buyers are jaded. They're skeptical. They're burned. They're overpromised, right? They're underwhelmed by gurus, right? They don't know who to believe. They're uncertain. They're overloaded with AI generating everything. They don't know what is going on, and trust is fractured. It's your job to solve that and make sure that your people understand why they should be trusting you. Okay, when you're fully endorsed, what's my scroll screen there gets a little crazy. Okay, when you're fully endorsed, right? Someone has already had your buyer's trust and handed them back to you. They handed them off directly to you. The sale is 70% done before you even speak. Fully endorsed means their reputation becomes your credibility. And I got news for you. Let me tell you this. I've heard some people say that, once I make the introduction, it's not my responsibility anymore. I say nonsense to that, because if I endorse you, that means I vouch for you. That means I take the ride with you. We have actually brought some partners in. We've brought people in. We've made introductions for people, and the deal didn't quite go as planned. And we ate the bullet, right? We went in to ensure and make sure that our client got taken care of, even to the point of coming out of our own pocket to fill in the gap for anything that they lost out. We take that responsibility. That's what an endorsement is not. That's not a referral. That's an endorsement. Okay. Reputation becomes your credibility. You're in the food chain. Sidebar as well. In today's climate with online marketing being as crazy as it is, you cannot ever just put people out there. You have to ensure that these people can deliver and get results and that they are compliant in all of their marketing and everything that they're saying. Because if somebody's out of compliance with the FTC or the SEC or any HIPAA or the Department of Real Estate, anybody out there in their marketing and messaging, and you send people their way, you promote their products, guess what? You're in the food chain, and that means you are now officially out of compliance too. Trust is a real thing, and it can be broken at any moment, right? As strength and as powerful as it is also delicate. Okay. Their relationship becomes your runway and it collapses timeframes. Their influence becomes your access, right? Who are the people that you not just have access to, but influence over? Okay. This is not referral swapping. This is engineered endorsements. If that's not what you're experiencing, then we need to have a conversation. Okay, hand walk buyers. This is the holy grail. Just I was mentioning with Bernie Dorman, right? We've had fail scenarios all over the place in spades. I don't want to burn more time talking about it here right now. I want you to just understand the concept. Okay, buyers walked to your door by a trusted resource. I have for years had people show up on my calendar who were put there by somebody else. That's amazing and a gift from God. Okay, they are prepared, they are pre-framed, they are pre-sold. It is just up to you to not shoot yourself in the foot. Right? This is what collapses client acquisition costs. This is what fills calendars for months, and this is what scales trust at speed. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about next on our next training here tomorrow is client acquisition costs, because when you have a crowded market, right, when you are educated guessing, when you are dealing with all of these circumstances, confused buyers, and it creates low trust, the biggest thing that impacts everybody is a lack of trust leads to higher client acquisition costs. It gets more and more expensive for a myriad of reasons. But when there's low trust, you have to spend more money to get in front of people, and it costs a lot more time, effort, energy, and money to get in front of the ideal leads who are the people who should be buying from you. And we want to eliminate that mess for you. So if this is landing for you, okay, if today's hitting you, if you're realizing that you're fighting an uphill battle trying to build trust on your own, then you need to be at our Leads Made Easy training event, right? This is the event where we will build your fully endorsed partner network, right? Your hands walked buyer pathway, your scripts, your trust transfer ecosystem, right? And a high authority positioning. We're not talking about referral networks. We're talking about architected endorsement, the kind that collapses sales cycles and fills your calendar with ready to buy clients. If you want the details, drop trust in the chat and we'll make sure that you get that handled, right? So if that's what you want, that's what you look for, type trust in the chat, whichever platform you're on. Please make sure that you give us a thumbs up, drop a comment in here, let us know what you're thinking. Where is this landing for you and what's your biggest takeaway? Right. But we'd love to be able to serve you and get you to our Leads Made Easy event so that everything changes for you and you start getting high trust, start working on lowering costs, client acquisition costs, which we're going to dive into tomorrow. So make sure you tune in and we're going to drive that training for you as well. All right. Thanks for your trust.